Hi everybody, this is Dino and Chris from Prehistoric Facts, and this is an answering questions episode, so let's actually get right to it, shall we? Alright, this first question comes from Mike from Beaverton, Oregon. Hi Chris, is there any rough estimate concerning what percentage of dinosaur species remain undiscovered? And approximately how many new species are discovered each year? Well, basically right now, in terms of percentage of how many species are actually discovered, right now in terms of dinosaurs, it's basically a rough estimate. Right now we're probably over 50%. We're actually over 50%. Probably by 100 years, we'll probably be at 75%. Or otherwise, in between 100 and 140 years, we would probably be at 90%. I mean, can you believe that? I mean, think about that. It wouldn't even be in my lifetime by the time we actually found like nearly 100% of the dinosaur fauna. And I mean, that is just unbelievable. And you see, right now, we're actually in an increase in terms of new species being discovered. So it's at, I would say, probably maybe almost between, say, probably 5 to like 7 species are discovered each year right now. Because I mean, because you see, every new dig season, they're actually finding more and more new species. I mean, it's kind of pretty cool to actually, if you kind of think about it. Now, most of them are not going to be dinosaurs. Some of them are actually probably going to be like mammals, or otherwise prehistoric birds, or otherwise reptiles, and anything new like that. I mean, even like a deeper time periods, like the Cambrians, Ordovician, and Silurian. We're actually finding new species of like invertebrates almost every year. About pretty much almost every time. Basically, we might find new trilobite species like almost constantly. But I mean, we probably almost think we actually got nearly most of the trilobite fauna. But even though we could actually still say that maybe there's still more out there, you know. And so, I mean, yeah, I mean, it's really going to be pretty interesting about like how many species are discovered each year. But even though right now I'd say it's probably between 5 and 7 species of dinosaurs, new dinosaurs are discovered each year. But I mean, that's my guess. I mean, as you see, it's really hard to actually find out how many. But even though it's, I'm kind of leaning towards like 5 or 6, maybe 7. But I mean, it's up in the air right now. I mean, it's just basically, I mean, there could possibly be more and more that are being discovered every year. I mean, I could be wrong. I could be wrong about my estimate, but even though that's what I actually can actually come up with right now. All right, Brenda from Morris, New York. Who is the ancestor of Giganotosaurus, Carcharodontosaurus, Tyranotitan, or Veterupristosaurus? I'm kind of having a hard time saying that name. Veterupristosaurus. Let's see here. Pretty much these are actually Carcharodontosaurids. Tyranotitan is actually kind of almost in between a Basil and a actual Carcharodontosaurid. So I don't really know that much about Veterupristosaurus that much. I haven't really looked into this dinosaur totally yet, but I do know Giganotosaurus, I do know Carcharodontosaurus, and I do know Tyranotitan. Now, these dinosaurs are Carcharodontosaurids. Now, Carcharodontosaurids, if you actually look at them, they almost look like allosaurs, but basically, allosaurs didn't really totally evolve into these guys. It's basically a group of theropods called megalosaurids. Megalosaurids are actually the dinosaurs that actually ultimately become the Carcharodontosaurids. But basically, ancestors are pretty much hard to find. But even though we do have like basal Carcharodontosaurids like Acrocanthosaurus and Concavenator, those are basal Carcharodontosaurids. What I mean by basal means they're like a early version of Carcharodontosaurus, like early versions of certain types of animals, but they are not really totally the like the new package, basically, like what they would ultimately become. And so like with Acrocanthosaurus, you can actually see like in the skeleton of like Carcharodontosaurids starting to get bigger, like having a little more muscle mass, and also actually showing they can still have the speed to catch prey. And so they nearly have the same tooth design. They actually have nearly the same skull shape. They actually almost have the same body proportions. But the basal Carcharodontosaurids would actually be heavily toned in muscle. So pretty much Concavenator would actually have some muscle, but even though I would say it actually has some speed to it, Acrocanthosaurus to me is actually kind of more of like the power type of dinosaur of the basal Carcharodontosaurids. Basically, it's because you see it actually shows, because in the skeleton it shows more muscle mass, and so it actually shows that it could actually use power, but it doesn't actually have the same biting power as a Tyrannosaurus. So pretty much kind of like that. Now, in terms of the geographical locations, it's really hard to figure out. I would actually say Concavenator would actually be more the closer relative to Carcharodontosaurus and Giganotosaurus and even Tyranotitan, but probably more for Giganotosaurus and Tyranotitan and even Mompusaurus. But if you want to go past the basal Carcharodontosaurids, then you probably want to go towards the Megalosaurids, like Torvosaurus, possibly Saurophaganax, but we don't really know for sure where it actually falls in line. To me, it's kind of leaning towards more of the Allosaur type of lineage. But even though Torvosaurus is a good example. Torvosaurus is actually the one dinosaur that you can actually say that is actually kind of getting really close to that point where it could be a Carcharodontosaurid, because he has nearly the same features, but not totally. See, Torvosaurus would probably be more it's kind of a power type of dinosaur. It's kind of taking on really big things a lot, but even though the Carcharodontosaurids did the same thing, but it's just that Torvosaurus probably had stronger teeth. I would say it has stronger teeth than the actual Carcharodontosaurids, due to the fact that it probably has a stronger bite, and also it probably had a little more power in terms of in its arms, basically, because you see, Carcharodontosaurids didn't really use their arms a lot, because you see in the Cretaceous, that's when you start to see theropods, large theropod dinosaurs, having the reduction of the arms. So basically their arms kept getting smaller and smaller and smaller and smaller. So pretty much it's kind of how that kind of goes. But I would say the Megalosaurids would actually be the ancestors of the Carcharodontosaurids, like Giganotosaurus, Carcharodontosaurus, Tyranotitan, and Mompusaurus. I don't really know that much about I can't say the name again. It's Veteropristosaurus. I don't really know that much about this dinosaur, so I would actually have to look up a little more information about this one. I'm pretty sure it's a very rare dinosaur, and I'm pretty sure that it's a dinosaur that not a lot of paleontologists talk about, and also it's probably the one that has not that much research on. But even though, I would actually take a good look at it. Alright, that's it for now, and next week will actually be a special episode, so let me know what kind of dinosaur or any other prehistoric animal that you want me to talk about, mainly vertebrates. Just let me know by emailing me at dinochrist71@gmail.com, or otherwise you could go on the Facebook page, Prehistoric Facts with Dino Chris, and you can actually find the link the links of basically like list of dinosaur names, prehistoric mammal names, and there's reptile names and all that sorts of stuff. Just let me know what kinds that you want me to talk about. And because last time I did 3 prehistoric animals at the same time, but it's a challenge. But even it's a challenge to do it. I mean, last time I actually got a over 20 minute video, so I want to reduce the amount of time because there are sometimes I get really passionate about giving you the information of certain dinosaurs that I do know, and then basically I look at the ones that I don't know, and I just look up try to do as much research as I can to actually come up with what kind of what I think would probably be like. And but of course, you can still email. You can still send me questions about dinosaurs or any other prehistoric life by emailing me at dinocris71@gmail.com, or otherwise go on the Facebook page, Prehistoric Facts with Dino Chris. Like the page, you can actually post your questions in the comment section on any Facebook post. But remember, keep your questions short and to the point. Don't use the messenger because I can't read them properly. And also, you can actually follow me on Twitter at CSGRILL. That's my Twitter page. I post pretty cool stuff on there. And also, you can. And also take care of the people around you, and also for younger people out there, make sure to listen to your parents, your teachers, and your guardians. Those are the best motivation you can have for a good education. It's very important to have good education. So with a good education, you get a good job in the future. Alright, that's it for now, and I'll see you guys next week.